back to the legend. Welcome to Morse Code Production Labs. We are continuing our InstaChord series, and today we'll be making a hip-hop beat. I have no problem if you want to define exactly what version of hip-hop it is, whether it's trap or just basic hip-hop or what have you. It's besides the point. Today I'm going to show you how I use InstaChord as one of the tools to generate this actual composition. I used all Bitwig devices and sounds for the making of this beat. I didn't balance it as the purpose is to show off InstaChord. You know, there wasn't much heavy mixing done or anything. If you're interested, you can let me know if you'd like a full breakdown of the beat. I have no problem doing that. I might do a little mixing by then and a little balancing and panning and all of that stuff, and I might even rename some of the tracks to more appropriate names specific to the sounds. But for now, let's get to the InstaChord of everything. So this is the first sound that I generated, the main sound. And as you can hear, it's very simple. I decided I wanted to go real simple with this one. You know, so as to show you that you don't have to go like, extremely complex with InstaChord to get something nice. You just need a nice sound to go with it. It doesn't even have to be a guitar. In this case, it's a vibraphone sound. It's one of Bitwig's multi-samples. It's called Freecast Vibraphone. Yes, I'm gonna just quickly, as usual for my style, I lay out the chords as they would appear on a keyboard, like starting from C down here, the first key, and keep going up towards the scale of the keyboard, and then in the major scale, the 7th is always a diminished, or they call it minor flat fifth, where it's like you have, I think, 2 minors or something like that. Yes. Anyway, all these patterns are in the basic settings, so basically meaning you would get each chord twice. So that's for this pattern, and I use the strum down slow all, and you're gonna see the chords highlighted here that are used. So just pay keen attention to this area here that I'm clicking on to see which one of the chords I use for this chord progression. So as you can hear, it's G, A, E, D. G major, A minor, E minor, D major. Basically, those are the 4 chords that are running through this entire track. So then we are going to move on to the other sound that I use InstaChord on, and it would be this lead sound. Let's go where it is. I'm sorry, let me switch which track here. Now for this one, I didn't play any chords. I was just using the single notes contained in the chords. And I want to point out something, for you to wrap your head around. The library of chords that InstaChord provides is not every chord. They obviously made a selection of the ones that they think people would mostly use. So what I try to do is I try to go for the chords that has the most keys within them. If it was left up to me, I would find chords that actually have every single key within the scale. Was not successful in this instance, but 13th, the higher the amount of keys that are used within the chords gives you gives you more keys that you can use to strum over in this action section here. So as you can see, The only key I have repeated is for the G major 13th is actually G. Everything else is a different key: B, D, F sharp, A, E. For instances where the 13th doesn't provide all the keys that are within the scale, like it provides like a key out of the scale, I then try 11th, because then 11th is the other chord voicing that provides me the most keys that I can get, usually one less than the 13th would have available. And if that doesn't work, then I try 9ths, and if InstaChord doesn't have 9ths, that does, which in this case it didn't, all the 9ths came with key or keys outside of the scale of G major. So my next best option was actually the 7th, the minor 7th flat 5th for the F sharp key. In the case of the B, the minor 7th. So, you know, I hope this is not too much theory for you. This is obviously not a theory course. So I would advise you, you know, if you are interested in this kind of stuff, there are tons of videos on YouTube right now that teaches theory. You can take a deeper dive into that. But for those that are with me and understand what I'm saying, all I'm saying is that you have to pick the highest amount of keys for, let's say, 13ths, 11ths, 9ths, and 7ths. Obviously has more of the keys in the scales than just the triads. So the higher the amount of keys used in the voicing is the higher the amount of keys you're going to have over this section here for you to use for your strum action. Okay, I spent enough time on that. If you don't understand it, as I have said, it is best you comb YouTube and see if there is any course on theory that you gravitate towards and grasp it. Then you could then come back and understand more what I'm saying here. For those of you who do, glad that you're with me. Let's continue to the next sound. So now you understand why you're seeing all these different chord voicings here. I'm just trying to find the ones that would provide me with the most keys in this single note section here. Okay, let me see if this, yes, this one has an InstaChord, and I can tell you that this lead here doesn't have an InstaChord on it. Okay, let's go to the acid harp. I'm going to see if I just, yeah, so this one follows the same principle. Same principle of me, that means more than likely I duplicated this track so that I could get back these same chord selections over here, so that I could get the same amount of voicings over in this section here. Anyway, let's hear what this sounds like. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can find a spot where all these tracks with InstaChords play all at once. And if you have been an observant person, you would have noticed that down here, what you're looking at is, other than the InstaChord, it's all Bitwig instruments. Yes, there are other tracks where I use outside plugins, not for content, you know, for like sculpting purposes, for like sound characteristics, but you know, not for actually drums and instruments and synths and stuff like that. No, I didn't use anything outside of Bitwig. I used, just in case you're curious, I use Slam Dog and InstaChord on this project. I used Hive to make my sub bass, and then I decided to, which is a sub bass I designed, what they call 808 in the hip hop world. That's the bass drum. I decided to be true to Bitwig, and I designed one with the polysynth. Even though it does not have a sub bass, I did the best I could do with a square. Anyway, kind of got sidetracked a bit, but yes, if you're observant, you can see it's all Bitwig sounds that I'm using InstaChord to generate. I have another sound here and with no InstaChord on it, so I'm just gonna make you hear this, and this will be the last sound that I actually display in solo. As you can see, there are hives in this track, but they are not used. I use the polysynth to give me this sound. I know you heard two percussive sounds there. I notice it when you solo Bitwig. You sometimes get sounds bleeding in from other tracks. I have no idea what causes it. The programmers definitely need to get on that. Yes, and being observant, you will see that there's a distortion unit there. But anyway, basically, that's all that I have to show you for this particular track, with how I use InstaChord and Bitwig to create this hip hop. So I'm going to give you like one more listen. I might go as far as up to the end of the 48 bar. So just listen and enjoy, and thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something, because it took a bit of a time to set up the InstaChord for this, and I just wanted to show you that there was ways. So it's a bit restrictive, because if you just open the plugin or the synth or anything and just know your scales and play your single notes, you would have all of the notes in the scale to your leisure on multiple octaves. But if you are interested in laying out your notes in a more voicing style of a guitar, and you have no problem with that, and you don't want to guess if you're hitting the right note or anything like that, once you lay them out in the chord area, the chord voicing area, then once you select an action, whether you're going to do a chord action or a single note action, then you're certain that you're hitting the right keys that belongs to that chord. So yes, I'm going to admit you definitely need a little bit of a knowledge of theory to use InstaChord, but that's definitely not a bad thing. It only means that you are able to apply yourself to accepted standards. Anyway, let's play this track and close this video, and thank you for watching again. Okay, so this is InstaChord making a hip-hop track in InstaChord Production Labs. As I said, if you would like a full breakdown of this beat, please say so in the comments, and I'll definitely oblige that and give you a full breakdown of this track. Thank you very much for watching. Blessings.